Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami. This is a second recording pertaining to providing the listener, the viewer, with extra support in times of need, where confusion is the dominant emotion. So I wanted to offer you another video, a resource, yet another resource. Perhaps in the first video I wasn't able to, given the constraints of time, provide that in there. However, I wanted to remind you that in this difficult time that you're going through, whether it is loss of a loved one, the possibility of that, sickness, just any sickness, injury, so it doesn't have to be life-threatening, a difficult time, some type of a calamity, some type of a fearful situation where you don't know where to go. And of course we want to reach out to the temple or the nearest bhikkhu that we know we might have access to, for them to come and chant. That option is always there, provided that such bhikkhus are available and they have the time, because not many temples have that these days. Many bhikkhus to be able to go to different areas of the city to help out. However, as I have mentioned in the other recording, fortunately we have many recordings already made of suttas, and I recommend you put them on loop to continuously keep playing those recordings. And I myself have provided those as well, and there are much better quality chants from with voices, traditional, depending if you come from Sri Lanka or from China or from other places like Thailand, etc. So feel free to explore to see whichever one actually you gravitate towards. The important thing is you must allow yourself to bring that into your heart, even if it's in Pali and you don't understand. That's okay. And I know that there are many that are being translated into English as well, and some other languages other than Pali. So in brief, I wanted to mention again how this time period, this difficult time period you're in, need not make you feel like a victim. You do have power, you know. You do have power in choosing your thoughts. This is very important. Even if Lord Buddha was right there standing next to you, sitting next to you, he would be saying to you the same thing. And how do we know this? Because he says this again and again in the suttas, in the discourses. Lord Buddha said in the Dvedavitaka Sutta, how before he became a Buddha, he became an Arahant, he saw that he had two kinds of thoughts roaming in his mind. One was unwholesome, the other one was wholesome. And he makes this remarkable decision, simple but remarkable nevertheless. He says, from now on, I'm going to pick the unwholesome thoughts and put them in one pile. And I'm going to take the wholesome thoughts and put them in another pile. And from now on, I'm only going to be choosing from the wholesome pile. So this is very critical for you to remember in this difficult time, in this challenging time that you're going through, for you to select your thoughts. Selecting thoughts that are uplifting, thoughts that are helping you and the person involved, the sick person, etc. Perhaps you are mourning the death of someone even. So this is a recording for a whole spectrum of individuals and their unique circumstances. So I'm trying to make a video that can encompass various different elements in society. given the challenges, particular challenges one goes through. So even if someone is lost, you have lost someone, that can put you in a very deep vacuum of you don't know how to process, how to understand life. Both of my parents, I lost them many years ago. So I know what it means to lose someone. But we must be able to become mature in our approach and be responsible to take ownership of the situation. And the best way to do that is by lifting the corners of your lips up. Because they've done many tests and they've seen how that influences parts of the brain that give you a better immune system, make you feel good. Other parts of the brain, peptides are released all around the body, and with the bloodstream, they make you feel good just by doing that and having an appreciative approach to life instead of thinking about gloom and gloom and doom. No. We must have a little bit more appreciation. And very briefly, I wanted to mention how traditionally Lord Buddha would go and speak with students. We have examples of this in the Samyutta Nikaya, where he spoke with one of his chief disciples, Mahamoggallana, as well as Mahakassapa. And he himself, Lord Buddha himself, was sick at one point. And when he visited to encourage the student who was so advanced, they were awakened fully, but they had a body, so they would get sick too. To calm the mind to such a point to realize the value of the 7 factors of awakening. So I will just list them. He says, mindfulness, or SATI, the awakening factor of SATI, has been taught by me. Then he says, the awakening factor of investigation of mind objects, Dhamma VICAYA, has been well taught by me, he says. Virya, which is the energy, the effort, awakening factor, has been well taught by me, he says. Piti, which is the spiritual joy, awakening factor, has been well taught by me, he says. PASSADDHI, awakening factor of tranquility of mind, has been well taught by me, he says. SAMADHI, the awakening factor of collectedness and stability of mind, awakening factor, has been well taught by me. And then finally, UPEKKHA, the equanimity awakening factor, has been taught well by me, he says. And so long as a person is able to just even recount, list these in the mind, again, the way you say it is important. To yourself, maybe listen to this recording, or say it in whispers without touching the body in any way, even the ear of your loved one, if perhaps they might be unconscious, maybe they might be in a coma. It's okay, they're very sensitive still. They might not be responsive, but they're alert, much more aware of the subtlest of nuances in the room. That's why it's important to be joyful. But especially when you say out, tell them, remind them, list that for them, these 7 factors of awakening. It calms the mind down to the point where the person can even get up, if their karma allows it, if they have the necessary conditions for it. But at least we can provide this for them. Even if it's a very, very terminal case and there's no way, because of their karmas, etc., there's no way that they could revert, get healthy, that's okay, because you just gave them the tool for finding themselves a new vessel, a new vehicle of possibilities in their transition to a next life, because you allowed their mind to calm down. So I wanted to just say these words, so at least you have these 2 videos, and may you be well, and may you continue to smile, and Sukhi Hotu.